Hi, everyone. It's Leslyn Keith here again, along with my friend and colleague, Catherine Seo. Hi, Catherine.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
And Catherine just got home from the pool, which I have to always say that is the best place for you to get exercise and movement, pain relief, reduce your swelling, everything. If you have an opportunity to get into a pool, do that. Catherine was almost going to do this live experience from the pool, but she decided to come home. So,
Well, last week, I was you weren't here
yeah.
because you were with Bill, and you had what was going on with that, and so I was coming back from the pool and I couldn't make it here, so I pulled over in a parking lot at a hotel in Cambridge.
Oh my gosh.
And I did it from there, and it was great. It was
That,
great.
that's amazing. That's
That,
great.
it's like
We're
we have
always
so
going to
much
be here.
mobility, huh?
We're always going to be here no matter what, even if we have to pull over into a parking lot.
Yeah.
So we're so happy to be here again today, this week, to talk about what's new and coming up with lipedema. And we have our mascot sharing the screen here with Catherine.
Yeah, this is Bella, everybody.
She always likes to be part of the limelight as well. So we give her chance.
Yeah,
But
mostly she just likes to get pet. That's it.
we had Catherine and I had something exciting happen this week, that we were contacted from a physician who works with Cigna Aetna Insurance. And he wanted to know who are all the physicians in the United States that do liposuction surgery for lipedema, for the diagnosis of lipedema. And because they're going to start covering it. And so we were pretty excited to get that call. It's not something that we promote as the first line of treatment for lipedema, but there are definitely women that are appropriate for it and should be considering it. And so our objective is just to have every option available to a woman who has lipedema. And then she and, with her family and her physician, her healthcare providers, they can decide what is going to be her best course of action. And for so long, that door has been closed. For people that could have benefited from it, it wasn't available because it wasn't covered by insurance. Catherine, do you know more about, like, there was a class action lawsuit or something like that?
There was yes, exactly. There was a class action lawsuit that, maybe a month, 6 weeks ago, I got notification that it had gone the way of the insurance company needing to cover all of the patients who were part of the class action suit. So one of the things when this doctor calls, Leslyn and I were in a meeting, and I got this call, and something just said to me, answer it. And it turned out to be the medical director from Cigna Aetna. And so I said, wait a second. I'm meeting with my colleague, and I put us all on the call together so that we could have a more in-depth, at least, understanding. He was a little he wasn't so forthcoming with information, but we're going to call him back. But what he did say is that they were going to start covering, and they wanted to know U.S. surgeons.
Specifically, U.S. surgeons, yes.
Because, as we all know, many of the surgeons who do surgery are overseas. And so we had a good conversation. I gave him a couple names. Leslyn gave him a couple of names, especially the ones in the Northeast that you knew of. And we want to follow up on it because so what really is important, number one, is that the insurance companies are starting to recognize that lipedema is a disease entity. Yes. And it's not cosmetic, that there is something that needs to be done about it. And it just opens the door, which is one of the reasons why they've fought so hard not to cover, because it's almost like a slippery slope. Once you recognize that it's a disease, then you have to start doing more and more and more to cover it,
Right.
which is great for all of this, all
Hmm.
of us.
Yes. Yeah.
So someone says, are there any in Florida? There were a couple of, there's a doctor in Florida that does diagnosis. Her name is Margarita Cortez.
Corriera or something
Her
like that.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a doctor who was doing surgery, but I heard that he's no longer doing it. He was in the Tampa Bay area, but um, I had hooked up with him in Germany because we were both in Germany at the same time, and he was following one of the docs.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
I remember that interview. Yes.
yeah, yeah, and so it's exciting. I mean, that's the bottom line. But here's the thing, and I want to say again and again and again, even with surgery, it's not a magic bullet. It
Right.
isn't go suck out the fat and you're fine the rest of your life. It just isn't that way. And why I love the research that Leslyn's been involved in for so many years and really has been a game changer is that it really looks at the lymphatic system and what works to keep the lymphatic system healthier. And when Leslyn first started on the ketogenic lifestyle, we had no idea if it would work or not. And being in community and using it is what showed it. And I also want to say that Leslyn's new book is coming out soon. Sometime in the fall. We're still sort of looking at either early September or early October, but her new book is fabulous. Leslyn, tell them about your new book, Leslyn.
Okay, I will. But I just one more thing on the lipedema resources and surgeries and physicians. Someone's looking for someone in Florida. We will tell you just what we told the physician who called us from Cigna Aetna, is that go to our website, lipedemaproject.org, and go to the provider directory. And it shows a map of the world. And then you can zoom in on Florida and see who's listed there. So you might be able to find someone. Quite often, because there's not that many doing surgeries in the US, you might have to go out of your area. But as this physician was doing, he is looking for who are all the providers in the US, and then realizing that a woman might have to go out of her state or her area to get services. So please check that out, lipedemaproject.org. And then a little bit about my book, The Lymphatic Code. It's talking about using a ketogenic lifestyle to improve the health of your lymphatic system, whether or not you have a lymphatic or fat disorder, but particularly if you do. And so I talk about all kinds of conditions that are common to modern humans, cardiovascular disease, autoimmune disease, neurodegenerative diseases, gastrointestinal diseases, and how the lymphatics are involved in it, and how when we eat a proper human healthy diet, which is, I believe, low carb and moderate fat, moderate protein, a lot of animal source foods, that our lymphatics run better. And guess what? It just makes us healthier when our lymphatics are running better. So that's the lymphatic code, and coming out, as Catherine said, soon, hopefully in early September, probably after Labor Day. But things come up, and so sometimes it gets delayed. So hope to have it out soon. And I think whether or not you have a lymphatic or fat disorder, then you will find this book valuable.
Yeah, and sort of a little of the back history, which Leslyn is that her first book, The Ketogenic Solution for Lymphatic Disorder and Fat Disorders, was originally much more technical. It was very clinical in a lot of ways.
I was directing it towards the healthcare provider and not so much the patient. But it was the patient who was reading it mostly. So that's one thing that spurred me on to write the second book, because I needed something that was more directed to the lay person, because that seems like they're the ones that are reading.
So what's new and coming up with lipedema is that things are happening. So the medical director from one of the top insurance companies contacting us, big news. Leslyn's book coming out, big news. Our upcoming symposium in October, big news. Oh, and the early bird special ends, I guess it's tomorrow.
Yes, the 31st.
The 31st. So if you haven't already, I'll put the link in the chat. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put the link in the chat. And if you don't get it, then make sure you email me. And I'm going to go get the link. And Leslyn's going to talk about the symposium.
Okay, so let's let Catherine get that for everybody, because you are going to want to use that early bird special. But you know, we'll take registrations all the way up to the date, and that's October 22, 23, and 24. It's a 3-day symposium. Our first one we did in November of 2020 was 2 full days, and we did a short mini symposium, just 1-day symposium in April of this year. And now we said, you know what, there is so much we want to talk about a holistic type of treatment, and what's new, what's innovative, and what's going to be the most effective for both lymphatic and fat disorders. A ketogenic diet is a big part of that, but there's also more. And so for this symposium, for 3 full days, we're going to be talking about the different supports for emotional, psychological, mental, social, spiritual, along with the physical. Catherine knows me that I really focus on the physical, and I think that is a tendency of a lot of therapists. We focus on the physical because that's what we do. We use our hands and we work on, you know, taking care of that fibrosis and the firmness, and we work on that physical. But there is so much. You're a whole person. You need everything addressed, and because, especially with lipedema and lymphedema, it affects your whole life. It is a chronic condition that can have impacts on all parts of your life. And so this symposium, we really want to focus on all those different aspects and how you can find resources and support and take action in all those areas, and make improvements and live your best life.
One of the things that I do in the pool, I just love it. I just got this new headset that I can wear in the pool.
Oh, nice.
It's like fabulous.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You just go like this, and so I can go in the pool with it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
But the thing that's really cool about it is the audiobooks are on my phone, and the audiobooks, I can leave this on the, on the table in the towel, and this picks it up. So it's like a whole thing. But the reason I'm telling you all this is that I've been listening again to a book by Peter Levine, who developed somatic training.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, his focus is around healing trauma. And he's brilliant. He's really, the top researcher, therapist in the world around trauma healing. But I just was listening, and he was talking about everything is in our bodies. All of the trauma that we've had, anything that's unresolved, is really physical. And to be able to get access to that and to heal it at that physical level shifts the whole thing. But it is this holistic approach.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about a holistic lifestyle where all of the aspects are part of our thinking, our protocol, our how are we going to manage a chronic disease, all of that. Yeah.
Yep.
October 22, 23, and 24.
Yeah.
And so I put the link.
Oh, did we say it's virtual?
Yeah, it's virtual.
It is virtual. So, and even if you're not available on those days, or not for the whole parts of those days, you get the recordings. So you will be able to listen to, and watch all the things that go on with this wonderful symposium afterwards. You might want to rewatch some things, because sometimes it goes by and you didn't quite get it. Go back and watch it again. I've had several of our webinars that I've needed to rewatch them, and you get something new out of it each time. So even if you are there for the whole weekend, you may want to still, watch those recordings.
Oh, absolutely. The recordings, if you get a ticket and there's an early bird, as we said, early bird until tomorrow night, the recordings are part of it. So you get access to the recordings for 6 months, or you can just buy the recordings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you just know you're definitely not available that weekend and you're not going to be able to participate live, in all the chats and everything that's going on, then just purchase the recording and just watch it later, and that is less expensive.
So we try and keep these to about 15 minutes, and we're a little over.
We're at 16, so we didn't do too bad. I think that a couple of weeks ago we got so excited about various things, we were talking for almost 25 or 30 minutes. So we are going to be better for everybody this time. It is fabulous to be with you all. Thank you for being here and watching this, and we look forward to talking to you again next week.
Have a great week, and many of you, I'm sure, we're going to be seeing along the way.
Hey, bye-bye.
Bye.